Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today we have a special show where we're going to be talking about Bardstown Bourbon Company's latest collaboration, one between them and Mars over in Japan. My name is Steve Akeley, flying solo today for this one. How you doing, gang? Hopefully all is well your way. And I'm having fun these days. I've kind of opened up the idea of doing some new hobbies and things like that, and kind of been getting into some of these things. Just coming off the Memorial Day weekend as I record this, and that thing just flew by. I had several days away from the shop, and I guess it was kind of a preview of retirement because it was one of those things where, I didn't have anything officially to do, but man, I kept busy the whole time. So been working out my yard. So one of the many projects I've got going on is kind of get my yard cleaned up after neglecting it for very many years, and had some help getting a lot of the weeds pulled and stuff like that. So I had some overgrowth because I live kind of in a wooded area, at least behind the house. And so got some help getting that cleaned up by my buddy Jake Tomure and his crew. He's a regular at the ABV Barrel Shop. That's actually where I met him. And he helped out with that. And then the warden and I put up some wind chimes and stuff like that. So kind of getting a cool vibe to the place. And it's kind of nice. You hear, we haven't had any major wind since we put that up. But every once in a while you get just a gentle little clinking of those things. It just relaxes you being out there. So I'm enjoying more and more, and I kind of want to focus on more and more being outside. I've got a design idea for a pergola I want to put on my deck. Some of you have seen me filming for YouTube in a screened-in porch that I have beneath the deck. So that's kind of a cool area as well. But being out on the deck is kind of nice because the perspective is better. You can see out further into the woods, and there's a lot of wildlife. And that's a big deal for us. We enjoy the wildlife. And you get a little bit of everything there: deer, coyote, bald eagles have even been stopped by the lake. They don't live there or anything like that, but we do have a couple of white herons that live there full time. A lot of blue herons come and visit. Other, just unique birds and things like that. Ducks all the time, pretty transient. They're coming and going all the time. Each year we usually have Canadian geese. I know a lot of people don't like them. I like them. I don't know. They look cool to me. They're fine, and they usually have babies. The babies don't make it typically. That's the sad thing, because there's a lot of turtles in the lake behind us, even though my neighbor has been working on those for years. I don't mind the turtles either. The turtles are just living their lives, and if they get some Canadian geese, which everybody seems to hate, including the neighbor that's killing the turtles because they kill the babies. I just say let them go. We will get snakes back there from time to time, and I don't mind them either. I always figure a snake kills its weight in varmint, stuff you don't want in your house. It's trying to get in your house. We've got chipmunks and they destroy underneath, the driveway and the sidewalk we've got going up to the house. We actually have one of the sidewalks sunk in. I know it's from the chipmunk that I see there all the time. The warden doesn't want me to mess with the thing because he's cute. He or she is cute, and cuteness apparently goes a long way. I'd just as soon like to see the things go. But so outdoor stuff is something I want to focus on. I want to have, like I said, a nice area with a full-time TV outside, and I just want to move to outdoor living. I like being outside. I really do. Much more so than being inside, like I am now, podcasting for you guys. But I do it for you. So when I get things up and I'm fully retired from podcasting and all that, it's just going to be more time outside. That's the plan for me. Also got to clean up the house. Again, I've talked about this on here. Living in a place for 35 plus years at this point, you accumulate a lot of stuff. It happens kind of accidentally. We also got kind of the double whammy. We had two houses at one point, and though we sold it with most of the furniture in there, the really big stuff, all the personal effects and things like that, and then we did bring some of the furniture back, and you merge two houses into one, that's a problem. And my daughter's moved out, so you're like, well, that had to free up some stuff. Well, not really. She's got a bunch of stuff that, she's kind of living a little bit of a transient life right now. She's kind of working her way through her career. So most of the stuff is still here at the house. So, at some point we're going to clean all this out. And either way, it works out well for us. That we haven't decided what the future of this place is. We love our house. We love the fact that it's the only, full-time house that we've ever had. We had that second one, which is a vacation home on a lake community about an hour away from St. Louis. But now we have just the house where our daughter was born and raised in, and so many family memories. And it's in a good school district. We selected it up front. We wanted to be in the same school district where my wife and I, went to school. We felt like the school district's good, and it imparted a lot of good mojo onto us. And we wanted to make sure if we ever had kids at the time, we would make sure that he or she, and we really only wanted to have one, so he or she would be able to go to that school. And that's what exactly happened with my daughter, Kat. So she went to the same high school, and then she could have gone wherever she wanted, but she wanted to go to the same college we went to. So she went to right across the river in Edwardsville, Illinois. It's a nice little school called Southern Illinois University. And we're big fans of that school. We have 5 degrees from that school. I have one, and the wife and daughter both have undergrad and graduate degrees from there. So I tried to get a graduate degree from there. I wasn't smart enough, so I went to an easier college to get my graduate degree. But I do have it. But I still have, the wife and I both just have the MBAs and our undergrad degrees, and the kid has an extra one. She has a graduate degree in chemistry in addition to her MBA. So, but that's a side diversion from we've got a lot of stuff at the house. All that time spent here and we're kind of, I would say I fall in collector. I tend to collect things, and I would say the warden almost falls into hoarder. She doesn't like to throw away things. I don't know that she collects really anything. Or she collects everything because she doesn't throw away anything. So, it depends on how you want to look at that. But, we've got some challenges ahead. We'll have to make some tough decisions about stuff. We're going to do a combination of garage sale, maybe. I hate garage sales. Selling some stuff where we can, probably some Facebook Marketplace stuff, maybe some eBay stuff, maybe seeking out people who collect some of the things I've collected through the years and seeing if they want to buy the collection, those type of things. So that'll help. One of the other projects I'm on is reducing all this clutter. So again, whether this is our permanent home, whether it's a second home for us with a primary residence in most likely Florida, Either way, if we have two houses, we'll want to have this one pretty well cleaned out and not with all the stuff, so our daughter doesn't have to deal with that down the road. That's very important to us because we are looking at both, the warden and I are looking at both of our parents' houses and saying, ooh, what a nightmare. And you get to an age where physically they can't do it and emotionally they don't want to address any of the stuff that they've got. And we're there with our parents. They're all, there's three of them. My father has passed away, but her mom and dad are both alive, and as is my mom. And, they're at that age where they don't want to address it. They don't want us going in. They don't want us helping. They want their stuff left where their stuff is. I don't know what happens to you where you get to that point. But they're there, and it's both sides of the family. You offer to go up and say, "Hey, can we clean up some of this?" No, this is our stuff, and we like it this way and all this, and we're like, well, we'll have to address it at some point. Yeah, that's your problem. I'll be gone. So, there's a denial thing, I guess. Maybe it's just facing your own mortality. I certainly find myself doing that as I look at retirement and stuff like that. It's like, this is entering, the stage that sets the stage for the last act, if you will. And so I get it. I understand, luckily. Our parents are okay. They, again, when you're in your 80s, I don't think anybody's perfect, and they're dealing with health issues, but all things considered, where they're at is, a good place for what they've had to deal with to get to this point, and hopefully they've got a long time ahead of them. And that is enjoyable. I think that's important too. You get to an age where sometimes being alive isn't the greatest thing in the world, right? When life isn't fun. But I can tell you, all three parents still have fun. They still do. There's things that they enjoy doing. They're despite any health issues that they have, they're still at a good place. So hopefully we get more of that for them. So yeah, that's another thing that I got going on, is cleaning up the house. Then I've got this other hobby that I'm kind of doing, where I'm working and making things. So, barbecue, I've kind of picked up my game in terms of smoking, in terms of making sausage and marinades and things like that. I want to get a cold smokehouse in the back where I can smoke some meats, do some bacon and country hams and those type of things. So I'm kind of getting into that more. I've talked on here several times. I do some mouthwash. Again, the idea isn't to build a mouthwash brand that, is up for sale or anything like that. There's a whole lot you got to deal with. But for friends, I could make some. I feel like I run an Airbnb here, even though we don't. We have no people that pay to stay here. But we do get a lot of bourbon friends come through. So I think it's kind of unique. We've stayed at some cool places before that were Airbnbs where, one of them made soaps or something like that. And I always feel like, that's kind of cool. It's kind of a nice little homey thing. And I feel like I could set my mouthwash up there and be like, hey, use this if you want. It's available. You don't have to, but, I think it's some really good stuff myself. I think I've hit a perfect formula for some really good mouthwash. And hopefully, I'm going to be testing this because I got to go to the dentist. I've had gum issues in the past, and he keeps telling me I need to, do more with mouthwash because it really helps thoroughly clean. And helps the gums and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of formulated one that's supposedly supposed to help the gums. I'm not making any medical claims, and nor am I selling this. So you always got to be careful with that. If I came out and be like, this heals your gums or something, the FDA would be all over me. But I'm not doing anything like that. This is, again, just for my own personal use. But I'm hoping that it helps me with the gum issues that I've had. And I've been doing it much more since I have my own stuff. I like it better. The commercial brands, either they've got alcohol in them, and that's a problem. It's staying, it's drying, all those type of things. To get the ones without alcohol, and they kind of don't taste right, and they're expensive. My God, they're expensive. It costs so much for a bottle of mouthwash from the big commercial brands, so I can make my own stuff for a fraction of that. And I'm going to see. Next time I go to the dentist, I spread this out. I think I got 5 months to go. I go every 6 months. I think I got about 5 months. So I should have a good test the next time I go. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to go and see what he tells me about my gums because he's always talking about them. If he says the same thing, I'll be like, well, that really did me no good. But if he's like, this is better than usual, good job. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. That'll feel like that's a big win. So TBD on that one. Another thing I'm doing because I want to have all this outdoor living is trying to eliminate the bugs as much as possible. So I got a bug zapper, which is cool. I like hearing that noise. I got these mosquito traps that have liquid in them that is basically fermenting. It draws them because it produces CO2, which draws them in, kills them. And then I've also got something that I looked up online called the Buckets of Doom. And basically just creates, again, I guess it's kind of fermenting, I guess. You're putting like grass clippings in there and stuff like that in water. And then you put in these poisons that aren't toxic to animals. So say the neighborhood dog gets into it and drinks it. It won't hurt the dog at all. But for mosquitoes that are attracted to water to lay their eggs, and what is happening, these chemicals that you put in there attract mosquitoes to lay their eggs there, and then they just never get born. They just die. So it's a generational thing. So I'm very interested in seeing how those go and stuff like that. Again, we have to get a full summer in to get a feel for that. The weirdest reaction was my mom. She was furious with me. She's like, "Do you know how many birds eat mosquitoes and things like that? And you're taking away their food source." And I was like, "I'm also taking away an insect that causes disease and is harassing, and at a minimum, when you get bit, it itches and stuff like that. It's just a problem. And I want to be outside and enjoy my deck and this outdoor living space that I've created." So, she was really ticked off about it. So, I won't be doing that at her house. Let's say that. So that's interesting stuff. All right, what we're going to do next, that's just to get you up to date with me, what I got going on. Again, retiring, but got a ways to go. And what are the things I'm going to do to keep myself busy? Everybody's wondering, how are you going to keep yourself busy? I'm like, man, I got a lot going on. So that gives you the idea. Nothing changing the world there, but some things that certainly sound fun to me, and I can't wait to get to and do them more. So we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be trying this product from Bardstown Bourbon Company, this newest collaboration. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily with Steve and Miss Becca Sue.
All right, everybody, it's Colonel Steve at my studio here in suburban St. Louis. I live in South County, if you're ever familiar with the area or anything like that. A little town, little community called Oakville, and that's where I'm recording from today. I'm not at the shop, I'm in my home studio. All right, let's take a look at the collaboration. What they've done here is they've got whiskey that they blended together and then rebarreled. So they have two different Kentucky bourbons. So they've got the 69% of it is a 10-year-old bourbon. And then they've got 8% is a 16-year-old bourbon. A little bit different mash bills on each of those. 74% corn, 18% rye, and 8% barley on the first one, on the 69% 10-year-old. And then on the 8% 16-year-old, that one is 75% corn, 13 rye, and 12% malted barley. Don't have the mash bills on the two from Japan, but here's what they are. They're both 5 years old, by the way. 20% of it comes from their Kamagatake distillery. So, again, I apologize for, the pronunciations here. A little bit hard to say. But this one's finished in a plum liqueur barrel. And then you've got, from the Sanaki distillery, you've got a single malt aged in cherry wood barrels. And, again, 3% of the blend is that. So they take those things, they put them all together, and then they rebarrel it. And they spent a year resting, which encompassed one Kentucky summer, and it really gave it a nice time to meld together. These are available at the distillery and tasting room only. It is $99.99 for a 375, not a 750, a 375, and it comes in at 109.8 proof. So I got this sample from the kind people at Bardstown Bourbon Company, and they always take care of me on these things, and they have some of the best packaging on the media kits, and I did an unboxing video of that. If you want to go back on my timeline, it was released, I think, on Friday. So, I think it's... Well, I'm not sure when it's released. It's coming up, so let's hear this thing cork pop here. I think it was Saturday, so here we go, cork pop. Cute cork pop. Saturday being tomorrow, by the way, so it'll come out tomorrow. You'll get to see it there. I did that before I did this, but this is getting released first. Just the way it works out. It's Hollywood, folks. This smells great on the nose. Really good. I mean, it is solid. So let me see what it tastes like. Oh, wow. This is excellent. A triple plus. I mean, my God. This thing has got everything going on. The proof is amazing. It's perfect. Gives you a great Kentucky/Japanese hug, I guess. You got to say both here because it is a blend of both. And wow. The fruit characteristics and the fruit notes from that plum liqueur barrel as well as the cherry wood barrel, amazing. They really come through with that Kentucky bourbon, which has, kind of, to me, tastes like classic Kentucky bourbons, caramels, oaks, vanillas in there, but then you get these fruity notes as well. Boy, I love this one. Well, like most things, Bardstown Bourbon Company kills it. Gosh darn, their collaborations are fun stuff. They do a really great job with these. This one lives up to everything that you would hope for, and I know that if it's available in the gift shop the next time I go, I'm going to be picking up an additional bottle. I got my bottle, I got here, a sample bottle, but this is one where you'd like to have reserved for sure. This is one you can pour with anybody, folks. I'm not kidding you. This is fan-freaking-tastic. This is really good stuff. Very enjoyable. Thanks to Bardstown for sending this over. Thank you guys for listening today. And you can follow me at Steve Akeley across all social media, abvnetwork.com. That's where we put our content, abvbarrelshop.com. Everything you need to know about the Barrel Shop, including what's in stock, what events we've got coming up, the festival, all that kind of stuff, abvbarrelshop.com. Please give us a 5-star review. It helps new people find the show, which remains important to us. And last but not least, you can head over to patreon.com/the ABV Network. That's going to do it for today. We'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya! Peace! Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.